porch, enjoying the weather. Looks like we're going to have a little rain to come through. I'm hearing a little thunder. So today our topic of conversation is going to be the masters builders. The master builders. And the reason this subject has come up is because I seen in another group where um, the question was asked, what would it take for Black Masons to organize, to work together, that sort of thing. Greetings, greetings. So we're going to have this conversation. I believe that it's doable, it's possible. The process is going to be the difficult part. The process is going to be the difficult part. So today our conversation is the master builders. I'm going to be with you for a little while today. This is not going to be anything short and sweet. We're going to have this conversation. It's about 2 o'clock on the East Coast. I'm out here. Well, East Coast. I'm in Mississippi. I'm having a great time. Had a family reunion yesterday. Enjoyed my family. Some of them people I hadn't seen in God knows how long. It's on my daddy's side. The wind is beginning to pick up a little bit. We may get some rain in just a little while. I've been hearing some thunder in the background. And but before all this comes into play, I just want to have this conversation with you before this rain gets in real good. And today we're going to talk about a master's builder. Yes, indeed, the wind is picking up. Looks like we're going to have some rain come through in a little while. We're going to talk about the masters builder. Midwest time zone. What's going on, everybody? Glad you're able to join me. So as I was saying, I was in this group, and the question arose was, what was it going to take for Black Masons to come together? And I've heard this question asked time and time again. Hello here from Baytown, Texas. Greetings, greetings. I've heard that question asked over and over again, and at one time I'd asked that same question, and but I've come to my own conclusion. And today I'm going to share with you my own conclusion to that question and why we haven't done what we're supposed to have done in regards to coming together. It's not even a complicated answer. I can give you the answer, and I'm going to give you a solution. To come up with questions and never have a solution to it is really in vain. You know. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. I appreciate you coming on. To everybody, would you please give your lodge a shout out, your chapter a shout out? You know, yeah, let's do that. And I appreciate you coming on and joining me this day as we talk about the masters builders. So once again, the question was asked: what is it going to take for Black Masons to come together? Well, the answer is this. But first, I'm gonna say this before I give the answer. First of all, Black Masons don't want to come together. Black Masons don't want to come together. I'm using it as a general. I'm using it as saying, I'm not saying all, but the majority. Hear me clearly. I'm not saying all, but the majority, because I know that there are some jurisdictions that works together with other Masonic organizations such as International Modern Free. My jurisdiction, we work together. So what I'm saying is, in general, I'm looking at the big picture. The big picture. They don't want it. They'll talk about it, but they don't want it. They do small things. Grand lodges that work together within a community framework do small projects together. And some don't even want to do the small projects together. Some grand lodges don't even want to be seen with you. They don't want to have a conversation with you. So as I sit here and I ponder that, and I'm looking at it for what it is, I reached out to the Deputy Grand Master for San Diego under PHA, Grand Lodge of California, who used to be a member of my lodge. And I messenger him. I even called and left a message on his phone. I'm not going to call his name. He's a very good brother, very intelligent. But I reached out to him, thinking that I, because I know him, can actually have this personal conversation with him in regards to doing something big. I ain't talking about something small. I'm talking something large. I'm talking about anywhere from like $100,000, as far as trying to really put a dent and make some things happen. So I left him a message. I said, hey, bro, you know what? I know you're Deputy Grand Master for a district here in San Diego. Give me a call back. I think that we as lodges can work together to really do something. I hadn't heard back nothing from him yet. No call, no text, no anything. So the conclusion is that I've come across is that for the most part, uh, we don't want it. We don't want it. We don't want it because of whatever reason. But what I'm finding is that we don't understand group economics for the most part, and we like dealing with our open enemy. We enjoy the comforts of what our open enemy brings us. We enjoy those meager comforts. So therefore, we will not deal with each other and help to better each other. However, I must throw this in. All the help that I have personally received in my life journey, 98% of all the help I received in my personal life journey has come from someone that looked like me. So I'm generalizing when I say certain things. So let's have that understanding. I don't want nobody saying that we can't work together. We can. However, I'm talking about the big picture now. I'm talking about the big picture. We don't want it. If we wanted it, we would have been so much farther along. We would prefer dealing with our open enemy than dealing with someone who looks like me. Hear me clearly. We would prefer dealing with our open enemy and working with them than we would dealing with someone that looked like me. I'm speaking in regards to Freemasonry. I'm talking about the totality, the big picture, not the Grand Lodge or individuals. Well, not individuals. I'm talking Grand Lodges. I'm talking about different varieties of jurisdictions. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about individual because I know some great brothers across the board and spectrums of Freemasonry. I'm saying Grand Lodges, predominantly African Americans, would prefer dealing with their open enemy than dealing with someone that looks like me to better serve and to really do something great within the aspect of their community. Plain and simple. That's the conclusion I've come to in trying to reach out to some of the Grand Masters around the various jurisdictions, particular PHA. It's easy for me to get with International. It's easy for me to get with Modern Free. We do that. We do projects together. Things to assist and aid students who go to school. We do that here in California with those jurisdictions. But what I'm saying is that on the big picture of things, you don't want big projects. You don't want them. You don't want to show that you can actually build a hospital and call it your own. You don't want that. You don't want, man, it's you don't want a home for the widows where when they get old, instead of them having to be put on the streets and you can go to the Masonic home that your people built for your brother, for your sister, whomever who was a Mason. You don't want that type of project. You want simple shit. This is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the money that Black Masons have. The money that we have, oh buddy, if we can take that money and take a real project and put that project down, do you know? Do you not even know? You don't know. You don't know. You know. You don't know. And I'm going to tell you this here. I'm going to give some credit where credit is due because I don't mind. and it doesn't bother me. To my grandmasters who are PHA, all of you, all of you, you don't realize the power. When I say power, I'm gonna explain that. You don't realize the voice that you actually have. To my Prince Hall Grandmasters of State, to all of you, you don't realize the voice that you have. And if you realize the voice that you have, you are afraid to use the voice that you have. See, masters builders. I'm talking about master builders. Prince Hall Grandmasters are afraid to use the voice that they have. And I don't care who you are, you can call me and tell me, nah, brother, that's not true. It is a fact. And for those Grand Lodges, small, big, or large, who tries to use their voice, and I've seen some of you, and I've heard some of your Grandmasters speak eloquently at different functions I've gone to, and you really step out, and I've seen you get hurt because you've used your voice, but you didn't back down. From small jurisdictions, I'm talking about small jurisdictions like 1,000 members, maybe 900 members. I've been to some of the grand sessions that only had maybe 80 members, but you know what? Here's the difference in going to some of those sessions that I've gone to. They do the work, and when I say they do the work, I'm talking about they may be small, but their pockets are deep. They may be small, but their pockets are deep. So I've seen the work that they do. But I'm talking about something big. When you're talking about a home for the widows, that's big. When you're talking about a hospital such as the International Shriners have, that's something big. And I'm looking at the money that Black Masons generate. And you're too afraid. You're too afraid to do something that will show the unity amongst your own people. You're terrified. And I don't understand who you're scared of. Who are you afraid of? I'm talking to grandmasters. I'm talking to Prince Hall grandmasters. Who are you afraid of? Because apparently you're afraid of someone. Apparently you are. Because you can't tell me that if you chose to reach out to other Masonic jurisdictions and send them an invite and say, look, I would like for you to join me on this particular project, and we would do this Masonically together, that it couldn't be done. You can't tell me it couldn't be done. Man, in Texas alone, with all of those various jurisdictions that do work together, and all I see is the Grand Lodge of Prince Hall keep saying that they want to work with the Grand Lodge of Texas. You're missing out on something that is great, something that you can take and put your own stamp on. The same thing here in California. The same thing here in California. You know? The same thing in Washington, the same thing in New York, the same thing in Detroit. I mean, I'm at a point and moment in my life and in this journey that I call Freemasonry, that I'm seeing it for what it is that for so many to come into it and to enjoy the festivities that you have, you miss out on so much more. It's a fact. You miss out on so much more because you refuse to do right. You refuse to actually step up. You do. Let me tell you a story. I was talking to my past imperial potentate one day, Brother Davis, out of New Jersey. You know, I was talking to him, and I was talking to my most puissant Sovereign Grand Commander, my Sovereign Grand Commander, Charles H. Nelson when he was living. And I was sitting at the table talking to them, and my imperial potentate, Brother David, said, uh, Grandmaster Hawkins, I'm going to tell you a story. He said, see, when dinosaurs, when they fight and they tear up everything below them, they don't care. They don't care about the small animals around them. They don't care. When those dinosaurs fight, when they come and they fight and go at each other, they don't care about anything around them. And then when they're done fighting and they walk away, they don't realize the destruction that they cause below them. It took me a minute to understand that brief story. It took me a minute. I didn't quite grab it. I didn't quite understand it. But when it finally dawned on me, in regards to the bickering, in regards to individuals who have been grandmasters, who sit in those seats, and individuals who have been sovereign grand commanders sitting in those seats, and you see all that money pass your way, all that money pass your way. You can't you can't let go. That's why grandmasters don't want to leave the seat. That's why sovereign grand commanders don't want to leave the seat. You can't let go. You know, you've seen 40,000, 100,000. You've seen all that money. No. You can't let go. So you don't do anything together. You don't try to work together. You don't build projects and things that would benefit the very people that look like you. You don't do it. Amongst any of the African American jurisdictions, inclusive, what have you actually built that you can put your thumb on and saying, this right here is going to benefit the community for eons? I am not talking about going to school and giving away book supplies and pencils and stuff. I'm not talking about giving an individual a nice little scholarship. No, I'm not talking about none. That's just small peanuts. I'm saying show me the property and building that you can actually put your stamp on and say that is going to benefit the widows of the brothers of the craft. This is going to benefit the sisters of the Order of the Eastern Star. You got your name stamped on it. There's no projects like that. None. None that I know of. So I pondered this. Where are the master builders, the masters builders? I mean, you got your level, your plumb, your square. Are you just working on yourself? I know it's a self journey, but is that it? Is that all you got to offer? Is legitimately speaking, is that it? It reminds me that when Grandmaster Phillips was living, past Grandmaster Prince Hall Grand Lodge, California, rest in peace. He and I spoke, and when we met, he said, young man, it is not promised to any of us that after we meet here today, that we will be grandmasters again in order to have this meeting again. And I was like, well, yeah, that's true. However, what we are doing here today makes history, and we can build on it. We had that one meeting in 2011, and we never sat at the table again. Never sat at the table again. And I don't get it. I don't get it. I've yet, and I'm trying to understand it. I just don't get it. You know, this is where I'm at today. I mean, I don't know about you, but we have yet to use. See, Freemasonry, economically speaking, you can take Freemasonry and build so much in it and on it. You could. You can. That's why it says harmony being the strength of all societies. Let's have an understanding of what the word society means. You can build a community, you can build a society on the foundation of Freemasonry if you choose to. But we would rather deal with our open enemy than to deal with someone that looks like me. That's a fact. Think about this for a moment. When John Lewis passed away, every congressman, every senator knew that John Lewis was a Mason. Be it black or white, they knew that. But I've often asked and I questioned this. Why is it at that time of his death that the Grand Lodge of Georgia, I don't know if that guy was the Grand Master or not, but he shows up at John Lewis's funeral. They have no admitted together. John could not step foot in his lodge, nor did they ever want him to. But he shows up at his Masonic homegoing service dressed in full regalia. But someone like me, I will be unwelcome. Somebody talk back to me. I thought about that. I'm like, here's a prominent African American man who fought for human rights, civil rights. He was there in the trenches. He passes away. Every congressman, every senator knows that he's a Mason. But yet he doesn't have the right to visit the Grand Lodge of Georgia. But upon his death, a member of the Grand Lodge of Georgia come fully regaled and dressed to show respect. But if someone like me would have shown up in regalia, I would have been ousted. Somebody tell me I'm lying. Tell me if I'm lying. I'm trying to understand where the master builder's at. I'm trying to understand what's taken or what is taking so long for us to do for ourselves what we keep asking everybody else to do. This is where I'm at. Man, it's a beautiful day out here today. I'm just chilling, but this wind picks up. I'm seeing some thunder clouds over here to my right, and it's clear over here to my left. And anyway, so today's discussion is that, where is it? Where is that project? What are you afraid of? I don't know. I don't get it. My Grand Lodge is funny. My jurisdiction that I'm a part of, we have Masonic affiliation. We have more Masonic communications with foreign Grand Lodges outside of the United States than we do with those inside of the United States. It's mind-blowing. Are we still that naive? Are we still that naive? To be some of the most educated people walking the face of the earth, to be some people who have been tried to, we have really been tried, people have really tried to wipe us out, but we still standing. And we don't get it yet. We don't understand the process yet. We don't understand the assignment yet. Something ain't right. I'm trying to have a better understanding. I'm trying to. Fraternal greetings to everyone who's coming on. Let's talk about that. There is no wrong answer. It's a discussion. Absolutely. Absolutely. It is a discussion. PHA is present down here, but not in a position of power, nor have they ever been. Look. Prince Hall. Grand Masters are in an excellent position of power. They are. But they don't know how to operate. They don't. Hear me clearly. Prince Hall Grand Lodges are in an excellent position of power, but they don't know how to operate. They don't. Small jurisdictions of the ancient free and accepted Masons, International, Modern, Free, PHO, those small jurisdictions, they try to operate. They do. And they do what they can with what they got. I get it. They work together. They formulate other outside entities to get jobs done. I get it. But to tell me that PHA is not in a position, let me see what he said. To tell me that PHA is not in a position of power is a lie. They just don't understand how to use it. That's all that is. They don't understand how to use it. If they understood how to use it, it would be magnificent, but they don't understand it. I would say this, based upon my own travels, there are a few jurisdictions that I've come across that understands that group economics process, and they don't care of your jurisdictions, and they have taken it to a whole nother level, and I like what they're doing because I've seen them shut down 2 hotels, take over 2 hotels in the city of Chicago. I've seen that for myself. I went to a convention in February, and I seen St. John's Grand Lodge shut down 2 hotels, owned them for 3 days, owned the hotel. No rooms was available for both hotels. I seen that. And that's St. John's Grand Lodge of Chicago. I seen them. I seen them do that. I was like, damn, you mean to tell me that they got both of these hotels side by side, sold out for the whole entire Thursday, Friday, and Saturday? They got them on lock like that? Yeah, they do. That's one jurisdiction. Just think for a moment. We're talking real money today. It was $125 a night. And you got both hotels on lockdown. How much money do you think came to that hotel? You got both hotels on lockdown. You got the banquet rooms. You took the whole damn banquet room. I mean, you know how you got them banquet rooms that are cut off? You took the whole thing. You had 100 tables in the banquet room, or close to 100 tables in the banquet room. Each table sitting 10 people. Then the banquet tickets are $100. That's one Grand Lodge that did that. So you mean to tell me that Prince Hall is not in a position of power? I'm talking economics. I'm talking about something that can be done if we chose to do it. Because it's not like we don't have the brains to do it. It's not like we don't have the people in positions and influence to do the things that we want to do. It's not like they're not there. There are architects in the jurisdiction. There are people who own companies in the jurisdiction. You mean to tell me that we can't pick a place and buy land and build some shit and call it ours? You mean to tell me we can't do that? Land is cheap in the South. It's cheap. It's cheap. It's cheaper here than it is California. Let's put it like that. It's cheaper here than it is New York. It's cheaper here than it is Boston and places like that. It's cheap. I'm looking at this thing and I'm sitting back and I'm pretty puzzled, but I know the answer. I know the solution. Just like you know the answer and you know the solution. It's crazy. It's crazy. Maybe this chat isn't the place to discuss it. Oh man, look, Erica, Sister Erica. This chat is the perfect place to discuss it. Let me tell you why, Sister Erica. It's because until you put something in somebody's face and show it to them, they will never acknowledge it. Never acknowledge it. And this is what we have done to ourselves. We have never acknowledged each other. We have never acknowledged the fact of what we could do. We have never acknowledged it. So nothing never happened. Nothing never happens because you don't acknowledge the fact that something can happen. And so you continue to have this great debate. You continue to talk about shit that doesn't build you up. You're prideful of your jurisdiction with no substance. You are prideful of your jurisdiction with no substance. Oh man, I'm a John G. Jones Mason. You prideful with no substance. I'm a Prince Hall Mason. You're prideful with no substance. I'm a PHO. You're prideful with no substance. I'm international. I'm modern free. You're prideful with no substance. That's all. You're just prideful. It's good to be prideful of your jurisdiction and the things that you've done, on a small scale. It's, shit. What is giving a kid $2,000? What is giving a kid $5,000 or $6,000? You send them off to college. That's peanuts, man. That's peanuts. Shit. No, it's good to be prideful. Oh, we gave away 1,000 backpacks. That's great. Oh, we gave Miss Jones $2,000. That's great. We helped this organization. That's great. That's nothing. I think I feel rain. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it's about to come down. And I'm going to have to go inside. But that's nothing. All of that's great. But it's nothing. Ooh-wee. It looks like I'm going to have to be moving in a minute. I'm going to say something. It's kind of funny. The sun is out and it's raining. When I was a kid coming up, they would say that's the devil beating his wife or something like that. That is hilarious. But it makes you think, It makes you think. But yeah, this is where we're at, And I try to look at this for what it is. Honest to goodness. This is where this conversation needs to be held. Do you trust everyone on the internet to understand and not manipulate something you have said? No, I don't trust everybody. Absolutely not. It's always going to be that way. It's always going to be taken out of context. I get it. And I'm okay with that. I'm not mad. People can take it any way they want to take it. But it doesn't get anything done. It really doesn't. It doesn't get anything done. I look and I, what I personally, I'm gonna share this with you. I'm not gonna go in depth, but I'm gonna share this with you. What I do is I look at the big picture and I flip it. Let me break this down to you. So the Grand Lodge of California and the Grand Lodge of Georgia have no amity with each other. None whatsoever. They're still part of the Conference of Grand Masters of North America, both jurisdictions. Although they may not have visitation with each other, that doesn't stop them from working together on a bigger picture, bigger issues. It doesn't. Hear me clearly. The Grand Lodge of California and the Grand Lodge of Georgia don't have amity with each other. But that doesn't stop them from focusing on the bigger picture. You catch that on the way home. Greetings, Brother Larry Diamond. How you doing today? Prince Hall Grand Lodges has applied to the recognition by the UGLE alongside with the Grand Lodge of Georgia. Look, that recognition thing is overblown. I'm talking that recognition thing is blown way out of proportion. I mean, to sit and talk about that does nothing. I'm talking about action, real action. It does nothing at all. Nothing at all. Stonemasons and stonemasons scared of geometry and pretty. We all know the solution. That's the funny thing. Man, look. We all know the solution, but we scared. Yeah, you're right. That is the funny thing. We all know the solution, and we terrified. What are we scared of? That's the part I can't grab. What are we afraid of? I have an idea, but people ain't gonna like it once I do it. It's gonna cost me some money to do it, but I'm gonna do it, and people are gonna be pissed off when I do it. I know that. And do I give up? No, I don't. I don't. But this will cause some controversy. This will. Sometimes you have to do drastic things to get people attention sometimes. And this calls for a drastic measure. You know, it really does. It really, really does. And after I do this, I probably will, yeah, I probably will be frowned upon. I'll probably be that. But I'm okay with that. Sometimes, in order for things to happen, someone has to stand out and do it and then put it in your face. That's true. In order for some things to get done sometimes, some people have to stand out and put it in your face and say, look, here you go. You simple mother. It's just that simple. It has to be done that way. And maybe, just maybe, after it's done, just maybe, things will begin to change. Things just may begin to happen if it's done. You know, I did this a few years back, and some things got done. So I think it's about time for me to do it, but I need to do it on a bigger scale. I need to do this on a bigger scale. And after it's done, then maybe I'm gonna make some enemies, but that's okay. You know, all the great ones had enemies. All the great ones had enemies. Be it Hitler, be it King, be it Marcus Garvey, all the great ones had enemies. I don't care if you liked them or disliked them. Yeah, I said Hitler. He had enemies too, but he was a great one. Oh, what do you mean he was a great one? Oh, you'll catch that on the way home. You'll catch it on the way home. Yeah. I'm just sitting here pondering, what is going to cost me? Am I willing to make that sacrifice? Please hit the like button. Thank you. That sounds like a wonderful idea. I have wondered why these things couldn't happen. Also, nearly every day, but it's rare to hear someone say it. That's true. If you stuck a selfish pin in the ground, you can hear it scream. Yeah, for real. What would it take? What's the solution? Oh my goodness. All right, what would it take? What would it take is communication. Simple, that's what it takes. Communication is what it takes. The solution is easy. The solution is one of the most easiest things. Communication is all it takes, and the solution is coming to the table. That's it. Because once you come to the table and everybody's dialed in, it's a wrap. And most of us are afraid to do that. Simple as that. Most of us are terrified to do it. I would never be caught at the table with him. My God. Sit down with him? Oh, no. Wouldn't do it. So nothing never gets done. Never gets done. You keep getting the same thing. A piece of bread, you in Houston? No, I'm not in Houston, not yet. Oh, that was for someone else. I'm sorry. So, me too. Greetings from Joshua Lodge and one United Most Wishful Scottish Rite Grant. Hey, what's going on? Yeah. So, this is where we're at. I have individuals who will fight tooth and nails because of something that happened 15 years ago, but yet won't try to find common ground. And this is what I see in the Masonic organizations. You'll fight tooth and nail over something that happened 100 years ago, but yet you refuse to see the bigger picture. You refuse to see it. And I don't understand it. You know, you would prefer to deal with your open enemy than to deal with someone else like me. That's a fact. And that's the conclusion I've come to. But that's not the end. I found that there are brothers of the craft and sisters of the order who are willing to really put out. And when I say put out, I'm talking financially. I ain't talking, well, no, I'm talking about there are sisters and there are brothers in this organization and very other organizations that have the wealth to do things. Seriously, we should be not liking for anything. When you know there are sisters and brothers in this organization who has the wealth and know-how to make things happen, we shouldn't be liking for anything. Nothing at all. We should be the pillar of the community. Plain and simple. We talk about, Shaq, he's a Mason. Lionel Richie, he's a Mason. We talk about all the people who are Masons, and we know that they have the wealth and know-how to get things done. And we have the membership to make it happen. But yet we refuse to do it. Somebody got to help me with that. I don't get it. I don't get it. You don't understand how to use this thing yet? Shit. You don't understand how to use Freemasonry to get things done yet? You haven't cracked that nut? Jeez. Somebody needs to help me. Why is it difficult for you to understand how to use it? Everybody uses Freemasonry, who is a Freemason, to get things done. But yet you have not understood it? I don't get it. You're a master builder. You're a master mason. You don't even understand how to use it. Man, somebody help me out. Who's the open enemy? If you got to ask that question, then bruh, come on, Michael White. Mike, come on, man. There's a system in place. And there are some of us that operates within the system. And we all know that there's a system in place. And some of us have managed to navigate the system pretty good. But yet, you would rather keep your foot on someone else's neck that look like you instead of giving them a hand up and show them how to navigate the system. Come on, Mike. You asked that question, and you already know the answer. See, we talk about justice. And I'm going to tell you again, justice isn't blind. It's just those who have the power to issue justice, they're the one blind because they turn a blind eye. They turn their head. They see you getting your ass kicked. You don't see that. You don't see that. Justice isn't blind. Just those who have the power to issue justice. That's all. Come on, Mike. Come on now. It's still that crabs in a barrel conflict. Be about it. Just speak about it. You know? So when I deal, I'm going to speak from my own personal perspective in what I've, in my journey. Because I've come across so many different individuals who have assisted and aided me in life. Because I was a Mason, I've received assistance. I've gotten a hand out, a hand up. I have. Because I have been in I've managed to have and to be in a better positions. I have assisted people because they were Masons and Eastern Stars. Let's just have I'm being honest. Just because that person, not just because he's a human being or he needed the help, not just because of that, but because he or she was an Eastern Star Mason, I specifically assisted and aided them on this journey in life. And we all have done it. If you have never done that, then you're lying to yourself. You don't even understand how this thing works. You don't understand it. You don't. I know congressmen and senators, white, who are Masons, who have done things to assist and aid other Masons. Be it legally or illegally, they did it. Yeah, that's a fact. You know, it's a fact. I think PHA could see a bump if they work in rural neighborhoods. It's some erroneous countries that's being expanded into the suburbs of Houston. Pour some money out there. Or, yeah, pour some money out there. You know, I'm just giving you the facts. Anyone who's a Mason or Eastern Star, if you have not received assistance or aid from someone that you have never known, but they're a Mason or Eastern Star, you've totally missed it. I'm just being bluntly honest. And it has nothing to do with race, color, or none of that. I'm talking about those who understand the obligation and oath that they have taken. Plain and simple. I have personally assisted people that I've never met in my life before, but because they was a Mason or Eastern Star, I said, here you go. Not because they was anything other than. That's a fact. Plain and simple. And it's because of the fact that they are members of the craft and order that I did it, because I understood the oath and obligation I took. It was not just to my own jurisdiction. It was not just to them. Some of us hadn't gotten there yet, and some of us never will get there. Some of us never will understand it. We won't. We won't get there, nor will we understand it. So this is where we're at. This is where we find ourselves at. Please hit the like button for me. I just want to have this conversation about the Masters Builders today. Where are they at? I'm talking about Masters Builders. I'm talking about those that has the pull and clout to actually make things happen, but refuse to. Within the totality of the organization. I'm not saying everybody's going to get along. I'm not even concerned with that. Everybody isn't going to get along. I'm just saying that in the looking at the big picture and the way things are right now, that the African American Masonic body, man, beautiful, beautiful. You don't even understand it. And it's not, and you know what? Although the brother put the crab in the bucket mentality, it's not even that. It's not even the crab in the bucket mentality. You know, it's more. The brother said earlier, it's more of an ego thing, and that could be, you know. Um, but it's so much. I think they're scared. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to be scared. But when you're dealing with your open enemy, you can't be afraid. You can't be afraid. But a lot of them are. A lot of them are. You're too afraid. You're too afraid to do the right thing. And when you're that scared and that terrified, you need not to be in leadership. People tell me all the time. I get the little inboxes. Man, man, you be talking and all you talk about is blackness. What? Yeah, I like to see my people do a lot better. God honest truth. I would love to see us do a lot better. God honest truth. So I don't hate on no jurisdiction. I don't. I just feel that those predominantly African American Grand Lodges can do so much more, but are afraid, terrified. They are. It's the truth. And the reason most of them don't want to communicate with me because I'm that one. I'm that guy. So they don't. So when I invite certain jurisdictions to have conversations, nah, man, I can't do it. I can't do it. No, no, no. They're scared. It has nothing to do with me personally, but they are scared. And it's okay. It's okay to be afraid. It's all right to be afraid. But that gets you nothing. It puts you nowhere. To be afraid. You know, I've seen a lot of scared people die because they're scared to death. They're scared to death, so they mm-mm. It gets you nothing. It gets you nowhere. That's the honest truth. You know? So when you say reach out and do what? Sister Erica, I get it. And what you're saying, yeah, reach out. And do what? See, sometimes drastic measures or drastic times calls for drastic measures. And no one, absolutely no one, really wants uh, 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 to make it happen. Because nobody wants to talk about it. I'll talk about it and then I stop because it seems to me at times it's like a waste of energy. You know, you're like, man, you're wasting your time. These people don't want this. They don't want it. So why do you talk about it? I talk about it because I see a bigger picture. I do. I talk about it because I see a bigger picture. And it's so beautiful. Oh, it's freaking magnificent. It is beautiful. If a Prince Hall Grandmaster, hear me clearly, chose to communicate with any other non-Prince Hall Masonic jurisdictions, if he chose to communicate with them and drop that olive branch out there, he then, maybe, he then would be able to see the power of unity I didn't say I had to come visit you. I didn't say any of that. I said the power of unity. If he was bold enough to do it, but he's not there yet. There is not one there yet because they are afraid. Plain and simple. They're terrified. You can show them this video, and I'm telling you that they are terrified to do it. Scared to fucking death. They're scared about what others are going to say. So nothing gets done. You don't move forward. You continue to do the same thing over every time. You continue to talk about each other every time. Nothing doesn't happen. It doesn't change. It doesn't change. You go through this circle all the time. I'm better than you. I got more members than you. I got this. I got that. But you have nothing but talk. You have nothing but talk. Nothing but talk. Because you don't understand group economics. You don't. No, you don't. Mm-mm. Because if you understood group economics, if you understand what unity versus united look like, you have a better understanding. And most of us don't understand what unity versus united look like. See, I don't have to always agree with you, but when I see the big picture, I will support the bigger picture. You know, because the bigger picture is going to put everything out. It's going to be like, oh my God. So I understand that. When I was at the home of Minister Farrakhan, he said something that was very prolific. He said that when Obama was pushing his bid to run for president, he came to my home, sat at my table, just like you guys are sitting. And he said, I would like your help. And he was like, okay, I need for you to get the word out to vote. I need that support. I don't need your money. I can get that. I'm going to go here and get that, but I need your support on the back end. Okay. And nobody can really know that I'm asking you for this support. Okay. And he told us who was sitting at the table, you see, I didn't have to tell anybody that I was supporting the man. I didn't have to say anything. I did what he asked. And when they asked him to deny me, I understood why he had to do it. I get it. It was for the bigger cause. I get it. So I didn't come out and say that he came to my home asking for help. I didn't come out and say I got pictures and did it. I didn't have to do that. I understood the bigger picture. And now that these pictures are being shown, people are like, well, damn. Yeah. Sometimes you have to just do what it's going to take for the bigger picture to appear. And most are not ready for that because they're too scared, too afraid. They're not ready for it. We achieve from putting the right people on the right and on putting the right people on the inside, in so many words. Absolutely. Greetings, brother. How you doing, everyone? How you doing? Charles Brooks in Kentucky. All my fathers is from Kentucky. Please support him. All right? When you operate with a complete unity and you are united, that means you will have to be completely open and honest and transparent. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely. It is very easy. Let me tell you this before I get ready to go. I'm going to share this with you. When members petition my jurisdiction, we are completely transparent to them and open to them. What do you mean? I tell them up front. We are not recognized by the Grand Lodge of California. We are not recognized by Prince Hall Grand Lodge. Period. So If you're coming here thinking that's to be, no, we're not. And then I said, well, why not? And I'd be frank with them. I'd be totally, hey, this is the reason why. They'd be like, oh, okay. I said, but when you come here, if you choose to join this Masonic jurisdiction, here's what we actually have to offer. Be completely transparent. Here's what we have to offer. Here's who we are recognized by. Here's where you can go and visit. And here's what you can do as a member of this jurisdiction. And once we drop it like that, usually 98%, cool. Oh, really? Yeah, this is truth. Oh, okay. All right. Ain't got nothing to hide. When you are like that as a jurisdiction, man, it's so much easier to operate and to do what you have to do as a jurisdiction. So much easier. But you were right on being transparent. Absolutely. Greetings, everybody who's coming in. Philly isn't all Prince Hall. That's right. Sister Erica, you got to let them know. You got to let them know. You got to let them know. A lot of leaders of organizations are not open, honest, and transparent. Absolutely, they're not. I'm agreeing with you 100%. They're not. But when you are, it makes it so much easier for you to function and to be a great organization. I get that. But today what I'm talking about is those master builders or those individuals who actually are in leadership that can actually make some real things happen, but they refuse to. That's what I'm talking about today. That's all I'm saying. Arizona is mainly Prince Hall. They won't even deal with me. Oh, Brother George, what's up, bro? Yeah, Brother George, we've had that conversation. You've said that, but here's the kicker, Brother George. I'm going to share this with you. There are members that are part of the Prince Hall Grand Lodge out of Arizona. They come to San Diego, and when they get here, they give me a call. Hey, bro, what you doing? I ain't doing nothing, man. Let's go hang out. Let's go fellowship. Smoke some cigars. Let's have a drink. Let's talk. Yeah. Yeah, that's truth. Man, let me tell you. Before I go, I'm going to share this. There are brothers, and I mean real, straight Masonic brothers who are from various jurisdictions who have come to San Diego, who have come to LA, have hit me up, and we have met and we have fellowship Masonically. And when I say Masonically, I'm talking about we sit and we chop it up. It's the truth. I have no reason to lie. It's truth. It's what it is. But on a larger scale, their jurisdiction is not ready for real Masonic power. Hear me clearly. I said their jurisdiction is not ready for real Masonic power. I've had the opportunity to see some in my life. To really see Masonic power at work. And you may say, what do you mean Masonic power at work? What are you talking about? So you got to pay attention. See, when President Bill Clinton was impeached, have any of you ever looked at who served on the committees? What was their background? Who were they? Have you? Did you? Did you ever consider who was on the committee for impeachment of Bill Clinton? Go check it out. Go see. Go see who was the chairperson. All right? You know, go check out Bill Clinton's background. What was his connection to the Freemasons? Go check him out. That's Masonic power. That's what I'm talking about. We have it, but we refuse to to engage it, because we say, in Freemasonry, there's no religious. You don't talk about religion. You don't talk about politics. You don't understand Freemasonry. You don't get it. Man, these people are eating us up alive and using Freemasonry to make things happen, and we're yet fundamentally dead, and you can't realize that you have an organization at your fingertips that can actually build a society and help your community and those around you be so much better off. And you don't even understand it. You can't grasp that? Oh, snaps. Oh yeah. You know? That's the thing. That's the thing. I'm gonna share this with you. When I drove across country last year, I met a gentleman, and he was only on my YouTube channel that I met him. I never physically met him in my life as far as touched him. But this is what this gentleman did. He said, if you reach, and when you reach Atlanta, you call me. I got a place for you to stay. You don't get a hotel. Never met him a day in my life. This man opened up his home to me and my grandmaster and said, I got you while you're here. Hmm. Now you take that and you multiply that over and over again. You have a better understanding of Freemason in the order of these stuff. You would. Plain and simple, you would. See, a lot of you never done that before. A lot of you have never ever done that before. So you don't understand it. I'll give you another one. When I was in Durham, and I gave a brother who's Prince Hall call up. I said, look, I'm in Durham, and if you want to hang out, and do anything, I'm here. Mind you, I've only communicated with him on the phone, never been to his home, don't know him, just know him through communication on the phone. He said, look, uh, if you're in Durham, here's my address. Come on by my home. Let's sit, let's talk, let's eat. And I did. He's a Prince Hall brother. And from that moment, we built a bond, a relationship with each other. That's what we did. And then when he came to California to visit, and he said, my daughter is here. I want you to look out for my daughter. If she needs something, you can do it. Would you do it for her? I said, yeah, I'll do it. Here's my number. Here's my information. You tell me. We communicate. Let's make it happen. See, you ain't there yet. A lot of you will never get there. You will never know how to use this thing. And I say use it in a way to really have you some power behind it. Political power, wealth, all of that. You hadn't gotten there yet. You hadn't gotten there yet. You hadn't gotten there yet. Man, how would that look? How would it look if we actually gotten there? If we actually get there, how would that look? For you to go into a state and say, oh, that's that home for the widows that we built. Oh yeah, it's beautiful. And you walk through it, and because of your funding that you put into it, you have created jobs now. See, you've created a place for the widows to be now because they're old and they need that help. You walk through the door and you say, wow, oh man, I love this. Wow, okay, all right, we got our stamp on that. You ain't there yet. You ain't ready for that. That's too big for some. that is just too big for some. And they would never get there. And that's sad. I keep hearing this thunder roar, you know. You're not going to get there yet. Greetings, everybody who's coming in. That's why I am transparent with my members. Now I have brothers coming back because the craft told me they wanted, they waited for me to endeavor our, to endeavor our lodge. That shows me the power of being trained. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely hit the like button for me. I certainly would appreciate it. You know? It's trauma. We have to help people with their fear. Huh? Yeah, it's trauma. And you're right. People are terrified, scared to death. But when you are in leadership of an organization, and I don't care how many members you have, you cannot be afraid. When you are in leadership of an organization and they select you to be Worshipful Master, Worthy Matron, Associate Matron, Grand Matron, Grand Master, Deputy, when they elect you to be in these positions, you cannot be afraid. You cannot be concerned of what people are going to say about you. You volunteered for the position. But you terrified, you scared, you can't be afraid. I've heard people say, oh, you're not on the same level as the Grand Master such and such. If you feel that way. If you feel that I'm not on the same level as Grand Master such and such because they got 50,000 members, I'm cool with that. That's your opinion. But you know over here, where I'm at right now, they don't feel that way. They don't feel that way. That's my concern. What are they putting forth? What are we doing here? And then I can branch out. See? You build here, you branch out. This is why when I deal with, when my jurisdiction deal with foreign Grand Lodges, and they want to know information about you. And we're transparent. And they say, okay, all right, okay, this is what we're going to do, blah, blah, blah. It's a wrap. Easy. So when I deal with the United Masonic Assembly, okay, when I deal with them, those brothers, great organization. When I deal with them, when we deal with the Confederation of Grand Lodges of North and South America, when we deal with them, oh man, there's like a few others that we deal with, but when we deal with these very forms of confederates, as far as Grand Lodges coming together and working, man, it's a beautiful thing. And then the projects that we do are beautiful. Beautiful projects. I mean, it doesn't, to be a part of it and see it work, you'd be like, why we can't do the same thing here? Because I'm helping you do it over in this country or over in that country. You know. It's a beautiful thing. That's my main concern. That'd be my main thing. Is being able to reproduce that here. That's what I'm talking about. Sister Erica, I have trauma, and I'm here to talk anytime. You know what, Sister Erica, boy, you have me rolling, but you true. You true to who you are. And that's the way to be, Sister Erica. You are true to who you are. That's just the fact of the matter. Oh, thank you, Sister Erica. I trust him. I've never met a Brother Hawkins, but I'm grateful to know him and have connected as friends through the years. Yeah, it's been a minute. I wanted to put that out there. Oh, yeah, it's been a minute, Sister Erica. Yep. You obligate yourselves in leadership. Someplace don't know that. Yeah, some people don't know that. Absolutely, some people don't know that. They don't. They don't know it. But look, I've been in for 114. It's been a great conversation piece. I'm hoping that you will be able to take something out of this and make it work for you. But I would tell you this, there is a project that I'm working on, and when it's done, it's going to be some hurt people, some hurt feelings, and I might lose some friends along the way, but that's okay. They probably never was my friend. And I'm going to roll with it from there and see what comes up. So until then, peace and be well. God bless you. I'm out.